Hey guys, welcome to the barbecue. It's Mike here from the Board Game BBQ podcast. You might be able to tell from behind me, or if you've listened to the podcast at all, I'm a little bit of a Zombicide fan. I love the dice chucking and the zombie killing and earning experience points. It's a great production from Simon. So it wouldn't be any surprise that I had to back Zombicide 2nd edition, the new modern version. And look, I had to try to save some money. I've spent enough money on Zombicide, so I couldn't go too crazy. Yeah, I could go too crazy, but this comes with it pretty much. Like, it's definitely an expansion that you need, but I didn't want to go any more crazy. Yeah, but the Washington expansion was a must. You can't get this without getting the Washington expansion. But look, this is pretty much all I really needed, and the Fort Hendrix expansion as well. Like that you can't get this game without getting the. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. But there's so many minis in this. Like, there's never a need for more minis. And these aren't normal minis. These are the urban legend minis. Like, these are really cool big monsters. And the presidential box, well, you can't not get the presidential box. You got Trump and Obama in there with guns, and Denny Trejo was in the trailer. That's the Denny Trejo box. Like, you can't argue with that. Like, it was a definite must, and I don't even know what this is, but it came with it. And Chronicles, it's more survivors. You need options in this game, and you can't. There's more zombies in here, and I guess okay. I went all in. I did. You can't blame me. Like, wait, let me put this down. There's just so many things in this game that you just don't want to miss out on. I cannot wait to get to this table. I'm going to unbox it with you guys right here. I'm dying to get into it. Before I unbox it, I just want to give you a bit of a premise that when I back something on Kickstarter, it's like a movie for me. I don't want to watch all the previews. I don't want to watch everything about it. I don't want to study every single little bit about it. I want there to be a lot of surprises when I open this box. So I'm not going to know exactly how every bit of gameplay works. I have a bit of an idea how the game's different, but I look forward to this being an experience. I want to be the kid on Christmas Day opening up his presents and not knowing what to expect. So come join in. Let's unbox Zombicide 2nd edition, and let's see what they have in store for us. Okay guys, we're going to start cracking open Zombicide 2nd edition, the main box. So let's have a look. It's a very, very heavy box, this one. This is going to have all your player boards. You can see here it's got a bunch of minis, most of your zombies, your equipment cards, the whole lot. So what am I excited about this particular version of Zombicide? So the things I do know about this version is that it's supposed to be a lot easier and quicker to set up and pack down. So they got rid of things like door tokens. They've made more zombies come out a lot quicker, which is also very, very good. And with more zombies coming out a lot more often and a lot quicker, it's going to speed up the game a lot. So we've got our playbook there, sorry. So it's a very thick playbook. I think this is the bigger user manual that I've seen in all the Zombicide so far. The art, as always, looks fantastic. And at the back there is generally a bunch of missions. So the missions are always very well laid out. They let you know which tiles you're going to be using, what the story is. And the best thing about Simon is that they generally release more and more missions online. A lot of them are also fan-made. So it's a great way for the community to all get together and just create something together and all vote for the best one. Cool. So let's get this out. We'll have a look what's in here a bit later. But I think this is what a lot of us are really waiting to see. Throughout the years, the mini quality is non-stop improving. Have a look at that. Yes, okay. Let's get some of this stuff out and have a look, shall we? Bit of a closer look. Alright. So first of all, it's a bit stuck. It's a bit bigger than I thought. Some colour markers. We've got some of our cards which will open up. Player boards. So there's one of our kids. The kids are a bit smaller and a bit weaker, but apparently have some really good valuable moves they can do. So it's looking forward to seeing what that looks like. The player boards, so nice and strong, and we're getting a nice good click there. I've got a few player boards that don't click very well, and it's sometimes hard to tell what number you're up to, but these look like they click very well made, and we have 6 to start with. Let's open up some of these cards and have a bit of a closer look. Be very careful opening them. So they've brought back a lot of the classics. They've got Doug and Wanda and Amy, but they've revamped the models. And if I can get these cards open, we can have a closer look. Trying to open it without wrecking the cards. Okay. Cool. So there is good old classic Amy. So there's our actions. So in this one, on the left side of the player card, we can see the blue, yellow, orange, and red combat actions, which we're going to be able to choose. Once we put them in our player board, like we see here, we're going to put down some of our little pegs to mark which action is active at the time and how many hit points we have. So it's going to look fantastic. Nice and easy to pull these player cards out. So who do we have here? We've got Amy. We've got Doug. These are the classics. We've got Al. Josh. I think these are some of the kids that we have. Ned. Wanda. Wanda is definitely one of the classic people. I think she's one of the more iconic ones from the first box that we had. We've got Bunny G. I think that name and that mask just makes me straight away want to try Bunny G. And I think this little backwards hat smiley icon maybe represents the kids. Maybe, I can't see it in the other ones. So I think these are the kids. I might have been wrong before. We've got Lily here. Lou. Odin. Ostara. Looks nice and warm. And Tiger Sam. Very cool. So I'm really interested to see, and you can see that these kids only have 2 hit points really, so they're going to go down a lot quicker, but they're supposed to be able to move around a lot easier. So got to be really interested to see how they actually work in the game. Very excited to see how they work. Let's put them away. We've got our little markers, as mentioned before. So they're pretty straightforward. They have some texture on these ones. They're not as plain as the ones we've got previously. Let's open up to show exactly what I mean. Got a few different colors there. So hopefully the camera is picking up there. If it's gonna focus for us. Let's see if we can get that zoom in a little bit. There we go. So you can see that they've got a bit of texture to them. Nice little bit of grip. Makes them look a bit nicer too. Okay. So another really cool thing I just discovered about these player cards is on the back of the character card, they actually have information about some of the skills that they have. So something missing from previous games in the Zombicide collection is that whenever you had a special skill, or I want to know what medic does, you had to go to the back of the book and read a whole thing trying to figure that out. So now on the back of the character cards, they don't have every single ability, but the one that might be a little bit less common or a bit harder to find in the book, they're there. So I think that's a really, really good touch. It's going to make it a lot easier for new players and the people who are teaching the game. But enough of the cards, let's look at some minis. And look, we've got to start with Wanda. Wanda, the iconic roller skating, chainsaw wielding waitress. Looking amazing. Apologies for the camera not being perfect here, guys. But she is looking awesome. The detail in her hair looks really, really cool up close. Very, very cool. Got this bloke over here, wielding his backpack. Got, you know, a lot of artillery all around his legs, some stuff strapped to his thighs, knives on his backpack. Looking really, really cool. Pointing some guns everywhere. Yes. The painters are gonna have a field day, an absolute field day with these. The details are great, they look fantastic, and I'm really excited to see all the painters get at these and make them look so amazing. Let's grab a couple more. The survivors are always awesome, but the zombies are just as amazing in this collection here today, which I'm dying to show you and have a closer look at myself. Okay, what do we have here? Looking very cool. The little details on the skirt and the dress are really cool as well. Ripples in the clothing and rips, and just the hair being everywhere. I don't know if you can see it too clearly, but her hair's all wild and messy. Looks so cool. Got some of the kids here. I love that little bunny mask. That's so cool. Can I zoom in a little bit? Hopefully it stays working for me. But mate, that's awesome. Looks really cool. I'm trying to. It's a lot of minis to get through here, so we're going to try to speed through them all. Have a bit of a closer look at them. But I'm super excited. One of the things I love about Zombicide is that every time I play, I have a different set of heroes on the board, which means there's all these different abilities and different ways to play. Always going to have something exciting going on. And with these kids now, it's going to be even more exciting. There's going to be so many more options. That jacket will come up really good. Puffy jacket with a chainsaw. Come on. There we go. Yeah, come up really nice. That's our survivors. Really cool. So let's have a look at some zombies, man. Look at these guys. They have to be some abominations, I'm sure. Fatties are usually not this intense. But man, he's a big fella. Once again, lots of detail. Just going to bring him to you. I think all the colors make it a bit hard to focus. All the different details are not being different colors. But that is looking really cool. They're all different. This guy's got a bunch of, is it a stick stuck in him or a sword? And I love the way they make the clothes all ripped and hanging off them as well. Really, really cool details. The molding's just improved so much as Come On has learned from previous games. Please help. This guy has a sign around his neck saying please help. I need to find this one painted. That is so cool. He's got a huge beard and his mouth is wide open. Wearing a big jacket. He's my favorite so far. He looks really cool. Please help me. There's a me there. Please help me. Mate, I'm gonna help you in that game. With a chainsaw to the face with wonder. I think this guy is broken out of hospital. That almost looks like an IV bag dripping into him. I'm probably wrong, but that's what I can see. Looks amazing. All these bands and ropes around him. He looks incredible. Wow. Really excited to try some of these. Let's have a look at one of our runners in their classic running positions. Clothes flapping in the wind, mouth wide open and screaming. Very, very cool. Looks like we have a walker over here, I'm guessing. Doing a little Michael Jackson moonwalk almost, it looks like. Come on, zoom. This focus is just not my friend today, guys. But looking really cool. We've got sets of them, so I'm not going to pull them all out because a lot of them are the same. Got another runner. This runner is a bit of a hipster with his ponytail. Come on. Looking really, really cool. What's this one over here? Yet another runner. Looks like a bit of a six-pack runner, this bloke. From what I can see, it looks like he's a bit ripped. go. You can see that. Got his like sort of muscle showing and a lot of detail around his sort of flesh. His shirt's halfway ripped off and just showing his guns. Sun's out, guns out for this guy. Ah, so good. Alright. Let's remove this layer and see what's underneath. Look how many more zombies we got, guys. This is just box one. And we've got on the edge there, if you can see, this sort of shows you pictures and numbers of where all the zombies are going. All the zombies are numbered underneath, so you can always know where your zombies go. Well, we've got this guy. He's a walker, I'm guessing. I have to look at him up. He looks pretty cool. Let's see if we can zoom in again. I think that helped before. Very cool. Let's get on these fatties. These fatties are catching my eye. Man, they're real round, these guys. Oh, man. Come on, Mr. Focus, you can do it. There you go. Wearing some shorts or jorts. Looks really cool. Awesome. Wearing a bit of a ballerina dress, this one. The detail is just amazing. Another one in the dress, it looks like, or a bit of a moo-moo. So good. Gotta go over here. This guy's got some really cool buttons on his jacket. Check out lots of cool little creases. Definitely a painter's field day here. Pockets. Looking real cool. It's got a very cheeky smile on him, that one. Over here. Same bloke. Out of place. Come in sets of 4, it looks like, these fatties. Cool. What else do we have? My attention is drawn to this one. The end is near. This is one of those guys on the street corner who's screaming at everybody. He's turned into a zombie and he's bringing the end. The end is near. That writing, there's a lot of writing on minis in this one, so that's quite different. And I'm gonna create a new little challenge for our painters, but I can already see in my head how cool they're gonna look when they come out. So these are all walkers. Very, very cool. This guy looks like he was ready for a fight. We've got another sign. What does that say? Dead end. Had to bring it a bit closer to see that one. So he's got a axe through his body, it looks like. Well, that's the sign. Yeah, he's been impaled with a sign all the way through him. That's what I'm reading dead end on. Very, very cool. This one reminds me of a Harley Quinn. Looks like some pigtails on this one. Little short shorts, a backpack. Very cool. Now these walkers are so well detailed. Big change from what we've seen before. So I was wearing a pretty cool jacket. Awesome. Alright, let's pack up these guys and let's see what else we have in this box. So we're going to keep the zombies nice and in place with this plastic. Maybe look at some cards. in there. Awesome. Alright, let's have a look at some of these cards, shall we? Whoa, so many cards. What do we have here? We've got an Abominacop. So this is one of those abominations looking at earlier. The stuff sticking all over him, bit of shields. So the Abominacop goes first in targeting priority order. So this is what I love. I love when you have some abominations and they'll have specific sort of roles and different sort of things they do on their turns. Abominawild. Molotov effects. In the Abominawild zone, only kill the Abominawild. Other actors are not affected and other related game effects are ignored. So, you know, Molotov cocktail always wipes out a whole bunch of people, but that one doesn't. That's really cool. Hobomination. That's the one that had all the signs all over him. Survivors cannot perform combat actions in the Abomination's zone. Whoa, these guys are going to make it really, really hard. Patient Zero. It was a drip that he had attached to him. Awesome. So these are our walkers. So you can see that walkers really, really amp up and how quick the zombies are coming out in this game. So we're going to have 10 zombies come out in one go, which is really, really crazy. And they're going to rush. So that gives them an activation when they spawn. So luckily you're not getting 10 at once, but if you're standing near an entry point and this card comes out, you're going to cop up to 6 walkers in one go and they're going to have a chance to attack. So you're going to want to stay clear. There's our fatty cards. Fatties can rush as well. I do believe I saw somewhere that runners are not going to rush though. The art's looking awesome. Abomination card. It's a standard Abomination card. Luckily you're never going to have more than one come out, that would be a worry. Some more walkers. Fatties are a bit mixed up here. There's our runners again. Abomination cards. And some extra activation cards. So once again for walkers, looks like there's going to be a lot of extra activating in this. And here's some of the weapons. Always good. Classic baseball bats, crowbars. Along the bottom we have our traditional sort of symbols. How far away you can be to use the weapon, so a fire axe have to be in the same square. How many dice of potential hits you get to do. What die roll, so the fire axe is a 4+ to hit. And it does 2 damage. And it's making no noise in that one, I believe. These are more your quieter attacks. But a pistol, that's loud. That's going to be making a lot of noise. But you can use it from further away. And they're drill building. These are always troublesome cards. The R card. Instead of finding a weapon in an area, you're finding a zombie. Army sniper rifle. Automatic shotgun. Evil twins. Golden AK-47. Oh man, these weapons are awesome. Mars shotgun, that's a classic as well. Oh man, some really good weapons there. What are these blue ones? So we've got some items, so bags of rice, canned food. These normally give you some extra, discard and gain 3 AP, awesome. May be used while in the backpack. So we have some backpack slots up here, I'm guessing. Chainsaws, crowbars. So I guess those other cards are looking at were your starting cards potentially. And I'm guessing these are what we can find. I'm not too sure actually, or they were specialty cards actually. These are more your normal everyday weapons. There's some special weapons we were looking at before. That's why they were red. Plenty of bullets. Plenty of shells, sort of shotguns. Normal shotguns, sniper rifles. Sub MG and bottles of water. And the good old Pimpmobile. I must have missed something. I haven't seen the Pimpmobile yet. I think that's going to be in what we're going to open up next in the rest of the box. So why don't we get to that and have a bit of a look. Pack away these cards. Oh Both feel they don't go further away than that. They don't come out as easy. These can go there. Well, let's have a look at the rest of the box. Okay, we've got a bunch of punch boards. Awesome. Come on, it's not a very good Stanley knife. Here we go. Alright, so I didn't opt to get the 3D printed Pimpmobiles, which I'm sure I will regret. So what do we have here? Got some... Okay, cool. So we've got noise tokens, and we've got some like mission markers. So you can see that you have some blue ones and green ones for some custom missions that we're going to have. That's awesome. There's our police vehicles and some spawning points, exit zone, first player marker. Oh, and some doors it looks like. So I think the difference in this one is that it shows us where doors go, and that, yeah, so there's a door here and a door here, for example. So by putting the door tokens on there, we know where all the doors are, but at least by using this, we know if the doors have been opened or not. So closed and opened. On the other side, that's our Pimpmobile, I believe. There you go. I don't know where the Pimpmobile was. So closed doors, police car, open door, Pimpmobile. Very cool. And these are some of our player boards. So the player boards are double-sided, and we have dark rooms. And from what I understand, when we kick open doors, zombies are going to spawn from the dark rooms, not from rooms with the light in them. So these are looking very, very cool. Awesome. Bit of a look at both sides of these. And they do a really good job at filling up the rooms with all bits and pieces and making them look really cool. More dark rooms, graffiti. Awesome. And I really like that we know where all the doors are this time, that we don't have to look at the book every time in the missions, so just got to make pack up and set up a lot easier. But it does worry me, there's still a lot of these dark rooms around where the enemies are going to be spawning, so still plenty of spaces for them to pop up and potentially get their extra activations. Especially in red zone. Bust open a door here and get 10 walkers. No thanks. Awesome. Alright. So, that was box one. Let's have a look at some more. Okay, so next we're going to have a look at the Reboot box. From what I understand, this box is basically a lot of the Kickstarter extras. So I don't believe this will be available in retail, but we have a bunch of survivors, a bunch of extra zombies who have specific little rule sets to them, some extra weapons. So it's a box full of goodness, if you ask me. Let's get into it and have a closer look. So one of the best things about Zombicide that a lot of people love is their pop culture references. And I think this box is where it really, really shines. I don't always know who they are referencing, but I always like to have a bit of a guess. Sometimes it's clearer than others. So this is the book. Now, you can see straight away what I'm talking about. If I'm not mistaken, look, I was going to say it looks like Cthulhu. It's named Cthulhu. You got Lanky Man, who is Slender Man, obviously. You got Actual Cannibal. This one's a great one. That's Shia LaBeouf. Bat Abomination, Bigfoot, a mummy. You got lots of sort of references. Now, all these abominations obviously have their own little rule sets. But when we flip over the page, we have a bunch of new zombies who are pretty cool, because normally it's your abominations that have special abilities and special sort of ways they play. But you know, Coffin Joe is a tough nut to crack for a walker. What with him having the extra protection of a coffin and all, in order to eliminate him, a survivor must spend 2 hits with damage 1 or more on him at the same time. Like, that's pretty cool. You have to use a specific weapon to kill him. So I guess with these sort of things, you can make the game as harder or as easy as you like. You can treat them as normal walkers, I'm guessing, or you can actually use these rules. And it even says come up with your own house rules for these zombies. So it just once again adds to that whole idea that you can be really creative with this game and add a lot of replayability. The bullfighter, Olympic runner, the skateboarder, and these minis are gonna look fantastic as well. And here's some fatty zombies. You know, you got your goth chick and the luchador. The sumo wrestler looks really cool. And unicorn girl, I remember seeing that in the Kickstarter pledge. That unicorn, the unicorn girl looks pretty hilarious. Let's have a deeper look, shall we? So let's start by looking at some of the extra cards. We'll skip through these quickly because we've seen most of what we have available already. But this wouldn't be an unboxing if we don't unbox everything, would it? Let's have a look. Okay, there's actual cannibal. And on some other Zombicides, they didn't have the special ability written on the card. You had to refer to the book every time. So they've learned from that, and they've put all the explanation on the card, which means they've got to cut out some artwork, but I think it's definitely worth it. I think it's a really, really good idea. Just getting rid of some of the image and putting the instructions there. Danny's machete. That's Danny Trejo's machete right there. Got miniguns, nail gun, presidential golf club, an RPG. Man, a zombie costume so you can get the slippery skills. Now that's pretty cool. Some abomination cards still, and some double ups. Now that's pretty amazing. That's really cool stuff. That's kind of like what we want to see in an expansion. Just some really cool additions to make the gameplay even more fun. I've got a bunch of cards here. So these are all our player cards. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a quick look through in a moment. Actually, let's do that first before we look at actual Johnny Law. That's Jackie Chan. Try to tell me that's not Jackie Chan right there. I don't think it's supposed to be Jude Law. No, Jackie Chan, definitely. That's awesome. Looks really cool. Have some special information on the back as well. Let's dig through a few of these and we'll fly through them and see if we can figure out who we think or who I think that they are based on. Okay. I'd love to see in the comments who you've played in Zombicide before and what sort of representations you've seen. I like in Green Horde, you've got in the Horde box, you've got Prince and a bunch of musicians. That's Ozzy Osbourne right there, for sure. Let's just flick through a few and whoever comes out to me. That's the bloke that played, what's his name? Oh my goodness, my brain's running away from me. Not Daredevil, what's the big red dude? Hellboy, that's the guy that played Hellboy, I'm pretty sure. Can't think of the actor's name. Came in like a wrecking ball. That's Miley Cyrus if I've ever seen her. Home Alone. That's really cool. Oh, goodness me. Bill Murray. And that's Teller from Penn and Teller. I don't know why. Penn and Teller were some of the minis I was really excited to get from this lot. I've grown up watching Penn and Teller and I saw them live in Vegas when I traveled. There's Alan. Her Royal Majesty. If you can't tell me who that is. Hudson, Hunter, Isaac. Ah. Okay. John Doe. Oh, we've got a second card. So we might have just had an extra one in there, or maybe they made a mistake and yeah, there's some differences on that. So either they're just different cards or they fixed an error perhaps. Let's get through these. Lil Wayne, Little Will, Lizzie, Logan, Luke, Mason, that's The Rock. Can you smell what he's cooking? Mona, is that supposed to be Oprah? I think so. Phil, Pinky, the Prime Minister, Queen, Smitty, Solana. There's a Pen from Penn & Teller, Stylus, and Victor. Those look amazing. We've got a bunch more over here as well. Wonder if we can get through a few of these. That's a big lot of minis of cards. I feel like there's more cards here than there are minis in the box. Let's get through a few of these. So these are zombies? Ah, wait. Are these Zomvivors? So I think they've actually introduced the Zomvivor rule in this, because on the back we have zombie versions of our characters. So these are all the characters so far with the zombie variants on the back. That's awesome. See, this is what I mean. This is why I don't look at everything straight away, because I want these surprises when I actually open up the box. Let's just look at the back of some of these and look at some of the characters. Angry Mary. Oh man, that's so cool. Padre Johnson, Troy. So I'm guessing some of these might even be characters we haven't seen yet that are in the other boxes. But man, that's awesome. That's really cool. Look at Zombie Wonder. I cannot wait to find out when and how we use these cards, because I never really played the Zomvivor rule set in the first season, so this really excites me. I am hanging to try this. This is just one of those things that I love to find out by surprise and not know that it's coming. So thank you, Simon, for that. That's a really cool addition. Really cool addition. Now let's maybe have a look at some of these big boys over here. A bit of tape holding that in. Get those cards out before I lose them. Oh, everything's going everywhere here. So there's your Cthulhu right there in all its glory. Little tiny wings, don't know how he's going to fly with those, but he looks awesome. Great detail. You got your little tentacles. Really cool. There's a mummy. Here's some really good looking abominations. Once again, the details looking fantastic on him. Even with little gemstones on his little gauntlet there. Looking really cool. Where does he go here? There's our bear pig, pig bear. Look at angry as all heck. Even the fine hair. There's some really cool looking detail on him. Very, very impressed. Awesome. Got a little wolf. Not too big. Looking good though. And there's, what do they call him? Lean Man, or who we know as probably being Slender Man. Looking very cool. But obviously didn't fit in the main little box there. Let's pop this back on. Step away. Let's have a look inside the minis. Wow. There we are, guys. So let's grab a few of these and have a closer peek at a few of them, shall we? Where are you supposed to go? It's always fun when they mix around. Oh, this one right here. That's cool. It's a one-man band. It's got his little instruments all over him. These are just really imaginative and really cool, and they just make it so much more exciting to play with. Let's see if we can do a little zoom on this one. Here we go. Looking really, really cool. Get the one-man band there, and this bloke, okay, looks over here. So who else do we have here? That's the one in the coffin. Very cool, very different. Got a little group here. There's about 5 zombies on the one little stand. It's a zombie party. Oh, that looks amazing. Group them together like that. Never seen so many zombies on one little mini. I've got Bigfoot. Come on, Bigfoot, get in focus. You can do it, mate. Here he is. Very cool. This is the Batman or Bat Abomination. I wish I could paint. I wish I could paint well, because these are amazing. Who are we gonna grab from here? That's your dragon, like for your Chinese New Year. Amazing detail. I think this one's gonna look really beautiful, painted with some bright colors, popping at the accents. Looks amazing. And once again, these are just gonna add so many variable fun things to your game if you can keep track of what they all do. That's where you got your book. It's a little fatty. It's a welder. Which one did I want to see? There was one in there particularly that I thought was pretty cool. Where's the unicorn? I think that's it there. There's a little horn. Oh, get that back in focus. Some cool colors for that one, I think. Would love to see some links to some of the painting jobs you guys have done. These are amazing. Ah, there's the Shia LaBeouf. The dagger in him on all fours. His face is really well detailed. I don't know if you can see that. Looks fantastic. Now they've done a great job on these. Great job. Let's grab 1 or 2 more of these ones. Great looking dress on her. I think it's a bride holding her flowers. And lucky last, I got a little ballerina here. Looking awesome. Very cool. Not enough time to go through all of them. We'll be here all day. But let's look at a few survivors. Ah, Her Majesty right there. She looks great holding her minigun with her hat. Ah, that's fantastic. Where's the ones I was waiting for? Where's Penn and Teller? Oh, there's so many to look at. That's Teller. Come on. There we go. Looking great. Who else do we have? It's great that even from the minis, I can tell who they are because their faces even look fantastic. Like that's that Bill Murray. He looks great. Just looking at his face, I could tell from far away that was him. Holding his little sword. Looks great. What else do we have? That's the Ozzy Osbourne we looked at earlier. Looks amazing. Love the bat with their bolts in it. That's awesome. These are all looking great. This is Kevin McAllister. All his bag of tricks, bow and arrows, and all his homemade little traps. Ah, there we go. There's Penn from Penn and Teller. I think one of my first games, I'm probably going to have Penn and Teller as a little duo there. Hopefully they'll work well as a team. I'd hate to have to separate them. Ah, this makes me so happy. She's coming in like a wrecking ball. We've got Miley Cyrus. I really hope that all the actors actually really do enjoy this, because it's a great depiction of them. They look fantastic, and to have yourself put into a board game like this, I reckon it's awesome. I reckon it's a great thing. So much fun. Who are we grabbing next? There's a dog. How can we go past a dog? He's got a little bulldog with him. Don't know who he is, but that looks great. The dog even has like a little collar on him, a little spiked collar. Ah, somebody please send me a photo of that one painted. That looks amazing. This brings me a lot of joy, guys. These minis just look fantastic. Zoom out and see if you can just see them all. They just did a great job on these. So many interesting characters to be, and you saw some of the cards. So tell me who you're picking first. I told you that I'm going to be definitely using Penn and Teller as a little duo. I don't know who else I'm going to add into that, but if I have to play the solo, I'm going to have a great time picking all my characters individually, and then every other time just trying to change it up. So hit me up with your comments, guys. Let me know who you're going to be choosing. Is it going to be, I think that's supposed to be John Cena actually, with his little cap. Very cool. If he goes in focus. This focus isn't kind with minis, folks, sorry. Yeah, it's John Cena. That's great. And that's the next box, guys. That's our Reboot box for Zombicide, 2nd edition. So we're gonna open some more shortly. Stick around. Okay, guys, so it's time to open Washington ZC, a campaign expansion for Zombicide. Now, this is something that I think I and a lot of other Zombicide fans were really excited for. So this is actually a campaign game that happens in the set of the White House. So you're actually going to have certain heroes following a story, and there's like a daytime and a nighttime mode. There's going to be actual campaign cards. So it's almost like a legacy version of Zombicide. I don't know how it works. I don't think it's a legacy in terms that it's not replayable. To my understanding, it is. We've got here the rulebook. I'm going to go through the sort of changes in the game and how it's going to work differently, but it is a story, and that's what I'm really excited about. So we're going to be able to keep weapons when we go from map to map, and actually just try to upgrade our characters and keep the story rolling. So it's something, like I said, I've been excited for a long time. There's going to be just a whole different kind of gameplay in this, and I'm really pumped. So I don't want to spoil too much for myself there. Let's just have a quick peek at what comes in the box, shall we? So we've got a bunch of punch out things here, which I may, we've got some tiles there. We might have a quick look at those in a moment. Now here we go. This is our campaign sheet. So we're gonna be able to keep track of our skills that we get, bonus actions, which equipment we've kept. So when we reset, if we're not playing straight away, we can make notes of what's going on, make a note of our campaign achievements, get to choose our own survivor name. This is exciting. We've got quite a few pages here. They're one-sided, but I'm sure that we can always do the good old laminate and use like dry or wet erase markers on them to keep them going. Let's see who we have in this mission. Let's open up this and see what heroes that we have. So we've got Angelo, Anton, Ashley, I wonder if they're all A's. Justin, nah, sorry Justin, you messed it up. We were hoping for another A. Mindy and Tess, all looking very cool. You do need the base box of Zombicide to play this. They don't come with player boards. Now we're not going to open up these because these I'm sure are very secret. We've got some pretty cool looking dice though. Oh, we've got some cards. Do we dare open up the cards yet? It might be a surprise. So look, let's do a spoiler warning. We're going to have a look at some cards here. If you don't want to see the cards, look away now. I can't see anything telling us that we shouldn't, so hopefully it's not a problem. Alright, so what are these yellow cards? Okay, we've got some R's, some Desert Eagles, flashlight, so the flashlight's going to help us look in dark rooms. A folding shovel. A Glock 17, let's zoom in a little bit so we can get a bit closer to this, shall we? Okay, so we've got quite a few of the same things. A car bar. Colt M16 A4 rifle. Very exciting. MP5. Night vision goggles. They're going to be pretty handy. Repair kit. Riot shield. Oh yeah, here we go. And some snack cake. These things look pretty exciting. Very interesting. What else do we have? What are the blue cards? We've got a bunch of more weapons and different things to pick up. Some food, chainsaws, crossbar. Look, for the most part, it looks pretty standard from what we expect. Some Molotovs, pistols, plenty of bullets. Yeah, so look, so far it looks pretty stock standard from what we expect in our normal decks. Let's put these two together. We've got some red cards. Red usually means special. Automatic shotgun, evil twins, golden AK. So we saw some of these in the other one as well. So we've got a few double ups, it looks like, and some starting weapons. So pretty stock standard. That's fine. I like putting mine this way. I feel they sit a bit better. Okay, that's for the little rondel, I believe. That little circle that we have in the punch out sheet. But I want to look at the minis. Finally got that off. Let's look at some minis. Okay. So let's wait for this camera to catch up. Okay. Looking very cool. We'll try to speed through them a little bit. The jacket looks pretty cool. Great detail. Very cool. I love that even the chainsaw has these little jagged edges to them, which I'm sure is hard to do. Lots of detail on the backpack and things sticking out of their belt. I think this is the A team, even with the A names. Then move over. That's a pretty cool pose, holding like the katana or samurai sword behind their back. It's very cool. And I think we can see something that, I don't know what it is. There's a couple of people here that I'm guessing are little extras in the game. That's a great pose. Even under there, you can see great detail from the bag sticking behind the cape that's flowing up there. Ah, looks so cool. And who are these guys? We have to ask. They're a different kind of color to everyone. They might be like NPC characters. I'm not too sure, but I'm dying to find out. And we also have some dice. Dice look pretty cool. Bright red, lovely, very exciting. So let's pop this back on. Actually, we can see there's a special spot for some of our new markers here. So why don't we open this and have a quick look and put them all where they're supposed to go. Okay. So it's going to be a hard decision because there's two campaign games that come with this bundle. I've also got the second one, which is next to me, Fort Hendrix, which I'll be unboxing next. Okay, so here's a little marker, which I think this sticks on top of with our little pins that we saw earlier. Let's pop it out and have a bit of a look what it looks like all together, shall we? Can't help myself, we need to get into it. too exciting not to. So that's going to go there. I think we'll pop that through the bottom. Okay. And then this punches in to keep it all together. Okay. So that's going to track the time, which is pretty cool. I feel like I should click a bit more. It's not clicking at the moment, but we can muck around with that a bit more later. Very cool. No, I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a tank. That's pretty cool. That would have been a good mini, but that big tank looks pretty interesting, and that looks like it fits there nicely. And these pieces, some sort of marker, fit under it. Oh, they're torches, sorry. That's your torch shining to see where you're able to see at the time. So yeah, this is going to take us through a story in the White House. And obviously it's using the same zombies as the main box. But it adds a bunch of differences. So it's going to be interesting to see what they are. And we've got some player boards here based in that White House as we mentioned before. Outside with a tank in the outside, which is pretty cool. Okay. What do we have here? So there's obviously like an outside map area and an inside map area. Lots of tanks around, which I'm interested to see how they sort of incorporated into the game. Love the big blood splatter across there, and obviously someone being dragged and bloody footsteps, blood all over the nice tablecloth. Ah, looks so cool. And I'm guessing these are your dark rooms, these ones here that look like a light blue. So that's where we're going to need our little torches to search through, which is so cool. I'm so excited. I'd love to hear from you guys when you get this started so I can get your input. I want to play a few games of the main game before I get started with this one. Is that the Oval Office, I believe? It's oval, that's for sure. Oh, that's the Oval Office. There you go. It's a bit more presidential, isn't it? Very cool. It's cool, you can see a bit of ruckus has happened, that flowers have been knocked over, it's pottery that's smashed. Super exciting, guys. So once again, we're not going to concentrate on this one for too long. We want to have a quick look. I don't want to open up the extra little bits in this pile over here because I feel like some spoilers waiting to happen. So we're going to move on to the next one, which is Fort Hendrix, in just a moment. Hey guys, it's Future Mike here. We had some technical difficulties and the voice cut out for the rest of my recordings, so I'm going to do a bit of a dub over now as we open up Fort Hendrix, a campaign expansion for Zombicide. This one's set in a military base. Let's have a bit of a look at the prologue. Fort Hendrix is a Zombicide experience like no other, featuring a full campaign with 6 new survivors set in a US military base. With advanced rules, the story unfolds throughout 10 missions as new challenges and opportunities arise with each choice the players make. Explore the new game mechanics like survivors being able to keep their equipment from one mission to the next, and watch as they unlock achievements, new powers, and reveal the next chapter of the adventure. Face the deadly shooter walkers, soldiers that even as zombies still remember how to shoot an assault rifle. Make crucial choices using objective cards. Call upon the all-out mechanic to unleash your weapon's true power at the risk of breaking it. Fight all night long using the special clock token and night rules. Fort Hendrix holds dark secrets and much more, and you're about to uncover it all. So look, this excites me a lot. I'm really looking forward to trying this one. So things like that all-out mechanic where you can really push your weapon hard out to see if you can take out extra walkers or end up breaking your weapon, it's something that I think is really exciting, and I'm really looking forward to digging into and finding more about. Just like always with each of these new boxes, we're going to get some new heroes, new survivors we should call them, and we're also going to get these zombies that remember how to shoot, because if zombies weren't terrifying enough, holding guns and being able to shoot you long range, that makes it even more exciting. So we've got here the Fort Hendrix book. So having a bit of a look. It's going to give us a prologue. It's going to give us information about the survivors we're using, the weapons we're using. It's going to let us know what sort of missions we're going to be doing. I believe these go over 6 separate missions. And I might have mentioned before, but it's so cool that Zombicide has a campaign mode now and it's a game specific for it. It's just an experience I think we've all wanted for a long time, to be able to tell a story through Zombicide, and one that we can play over and over again. Makes it even more exciting. So we've got some more components here again. We've got your little flashlights and tiles you've got to check out in a moment. We've got the same sort of little booklet here, not double-sided again, but this is how we're going to track our mission and see how we go, and be able to refer back to see how we went last time. Okay, so all the same sort of pieces. This box looks a lot like the other one, just with different survivors, the extra zombies, and some new player cards. So let's have a bit of a close look at these player cards and see who we have. So we've got Javier. Okay, get him a bit closer. Got Javier here, looking pretty cool. Does a lot of damage. He's looks like he's just all about shooting. And on the back again, we got his special powers, abilities. Just a bit of a breakdown, which makes the game a lot better once again. So it's always handy having these sort of abilities in the back. We've got Carl. He's a sniper, got to do some damage from far away. We've got Marion. She's a field medic, so hopefully she can help heal some of our survivors and keep them in the game. We've got Michelle. We always need somebody with a chainsaw, very important. We've got Riley holding his axe and has a gun. We've got Wayne, double wielding machetes, and he has the shove ability. Should have the stab ability, but that's okay. Okay, so I think next we're going to have a bit of a closer look at some cards, I think. Let's have a look. So we're going to open these up. It's always fun trying to open up these packets. Nice and quick for these unboxings. I feel like I should be making some more audio for you guys and wrestling some papers to make it a bit more, feel a bit more live. Okay, so look, having a look at these, it seemed very similar to a lot of the weapons in the last box, the Washington ZC one. Much of the same sort of thing. There are a few little differences. So I think this incendiary grenade was a bit different. Some more guns. MP5, sorry. Some more guns. And a few more things to collect around the way as well. So new kind of shotgun here. Some night vision goggles for those dark areas. Repair kits, I think they're for the weapons to actually help your broken weapons. Okay. Now that looks pretty cool. The tactical Halligan. That looks like it'll do a lot of damage. Do one of those swinging at you pretty fast. Big pointer and looks like an axe as well. And a tactical tomahawk. That one interests me a lot. Looks like a lot of fun to play with. Okay. So I'll pop those back in. And we'll have a quick look at the other deck as well. These campaign modes are very, very exciting. It is interesting that they have a lot of the same sort of weapons from one to the other, but I'm guessing they're trying to make them a lot more contained in the box and not have to take things from one box to the other too often, which I do understand. So I'm looking at some of the zombies here, much of the muchness again. We've got our fatties and our walkers and our runners. I think I was pointing at that little symbol, a little bit different there. I think it might be specific to this box, I believe. We've got some extra activations. Get those zombies moving on the board and increase that suspense. Those are the last cards you want to pull out, especially when you have a zombie hero surrounded. Got some Magnum, Long Colt, Price Katana, Prototype Assault Shotgun. That Siege Hammer looks like it really means business as well. Wristbreaker. And some more pretty standard weapons and flashlights. So I'm going to pop these cards back and dig into some minis. So I think we're going to have a bit of a closer look at some of these minis in some more detail. See how they put them together. I think this was Carl from memory. Always fun trying to get this camera to zoom and focus properly. But some really good detail on him. His backpack's looking awesome. Lots of, bits and pieces sticking out of his pockets and strapped to his legs. Very cool. Always got to appreciate all the different poses they put these guys into as well. They all look pretty individual and unique. And I like how they've really done a lot more of this sort of clothes waving in the wind. And bits of cloth floating around, and I think it looks really cool. Very, very well done. I'll try to make sure we have a look at all the different heroes. Or survivors. I keep calling them heroes. No, they're survivors. But they're heroes in my eyes, and I hope they're heroes in your eyes as well. I like that one there. Holding the axe looks really cool. The gun slinged over their shoulder. Hat looks cool too. Hair tied back. It's gonna be looking really good once it's painted. I'm always scared to paint these. The first time I gave it a painting attempt, I did too much primer and lost some details, so still a work in progress there. Here's another one of our guys. Once again, strapped with all sorts of bits and pieces. Looking very cool. I really like this guy here with his little stance and holding his two huge knives, ready to rock, ready to fight, bring it on. No zombie's gonna want to mess with him. But those two knives aren't gonna do too great against zombies who know how to shoot, like this guy over here. And they did a good job with these ones. They look a bit more like our survivors, but angry and hungry for brains. I think we have about 3 of each mold here from memory. So we've got 6 in total, so 2 of each. And they look great. A bit of a closer look here. Looking very cool. And we've got our little extra person here who helps us tell our story in our campaign game. Looking forward to meeting her and seeing how she works. But looking very good. Okay. And we have our dice here as well, of course. Can't forget the dice. Having extra dice, I'm going to probably keep them all together, so that way whenever I play any of these actual Zombicide 2nd edition games, it's going to be great just having most of the people playing having their own set of dice, so it's always handy. So thanks for watching that one, and I think we've got a few more cards to look at. We can't finish this unboxing without actually having a look at the actual tiles that come as well. So once again, this one's set in an army base, so we have a few different sort of rooms. We've got like your feeding areas and your, planning areas where they're all strategizing. We've got a little rec room here with a pool table, and there's our lunch area. Once again, all these dark areas are where we're actually going to be spawning zombies from, and in higher numbers than usual. some like meeting room areas. Now one of these tiles are the ones that really excite me. They look very, very cool, which I think is coming up in just a moment. I like this little car that's been broken in half with the little Jeep on the side. Oop, there's a peak there at the one that excites me. They're like storage areas. It's really well done in these. They're not super detailed, but they look fantastic. Just enough. There we go. That broken down helicopter with a bunch of, you know, provisions inside sticking out in between. Looks amazing. Looks really, really cool. So I'm hoping this really fits into the story somewhere, and looking forward to seeing how that fits into the story. And we've got a few more rooms on the back. So yeah, that's something exciting to wait for, and don't know which one of these I'm going to dig into first. It probably will be this one, followed by the Washington DC one. So thanks for watching the unboxing of the Fort Hendrix expansion, and let's move on to some of the smaller boxes next. Okay, so last but not least, we're going to be cracking into our extra little boxes here. Have our Danny Trejo box, we're going to have our Chronicles Survivors, Presidential box, Urban Legends, and we have Nico thrown in there as well. So funnily enough, these ones I'm probably most excited about. There's going to be some very unique sculpts and some very interesting additions. Nico here, I'm probably not going to unbox in this video here. I think he's a bit of a collector edition, that's why he's in his own little box, but looks really cute. Has his little bulldog in between his legs. I really love that little look. They've incorporated a couple dogs into this one, which is very, very cool. But I'll put this guy aside, maybe unbox him in the future, but for now I think he's going to stay in my collection in his box, just in case. So let's start digging into some of these boxes. Just got to pick one, and it looks like we're going to start with, which one do we start with? I think we're going to go for the Presidential box. Nope, we're going for the Chronicles box. Sorry guys. Okay, so Zombicide did have an option to purchase a RPG version, a role-playing game, which, you know, you sort of create your own stories with your friends. I don't mind RPGs, but Zombicide, I think I just like my OG Zombicide, so I did get the box with extra characters because I just do love having some options, and these guys are pretty cool. So we're going to crack open these cards and see who we have. Once I can eventually get this open. Okay. Let's have a good look. Gonna get these minis ready as well. Find all that little tricky sticky tape and get it ready. We'll try to breeze through a few of these so it don't take too long. It's going to be a long unboxing, this one, with all this content. Okay, so awesome. We've got Armando here. Bit of extra movement with this bike. Now how cool is this? I've not seen a mini on a bike before, which is really, really cool. The bike looks fantastic. You can even see through those spokes. It's very unique. And you can see on his car that he has an extra movement as well, which makes sense. Anyone on a bike is going to be getting around a bit more. So something like this is definitely a reason why I wanted to get this extra box, because that's awesome. That's unique. It's different. And I'm really looking forward to trying him. I love the range of options you get in these boxes because every time I play, I generally try to be someone different. So having extra survivors is always helpful. So next we've got Ben. Now Ben has some knuckle dusters. He is ready to punch some zombies. Not usually my first option. I'd be probably wanting to grab that gun behind him, but no, he wants to punch, so which is fine. So there he is, looking like somebody at a Street Fighter, ready to punch a zombie in the face. But once again, very cool. Nearly everyone's holding weapons, so cool to see someone just ready to punch a bit. Okay, now we've got Aaron. So Aaron looks like a sort of like a So a police officer of sorts, maybe some like traffic management. She's ready to smack someone in the head with that little hammer she's got. And like a sort of shotgun. Looking very cool. This guy, Glenn. Now Glenn is awesome. He's a scavenger in a wheelchair, which is great to see other people represented in this as well. And man, just like, what a mini. Big, bulky, you gotta notice it on the board, and just looks fantastic. He's got a bunch of, you know, scrap metal he's put together to create himself a bit of a cage behind him to keep the zombies off his back, and just ready to go with his 2 guns. This guy is really something, very, very different. I'm interested to learn more about what the scavenger ability is like. Hopefully find some better weapons. But yeah, definitely looking forward to playing with Glenn. Looks very interesting. Okay. Now we've got Helen. Helen's holding like a meat cleaver. Her overalls look really cool as well. Not sure if maybe she's a butcher or something. Can't tell what else is in her belt there from here. In some sort of trade. And does 2 damage with melee weapons, which is really cool too. Especially when you're tackling those fatties or more difficult zombies. That definitely comes in handy. Okay. Kiki. Now, Kiki's holding a big, no mucking around gun there. Looks really cool. She gets a free search action as her blue ability as well. That's super handy to, you know, not have to spend one of your 3 main actions on searching. Who do we have here? Letitia. Have another field medic here, doing a bit of healing. Cool pose too on Letitia. Very cool. We got Mark. Dual wielding some baseball bats. Now this one's going to look so cool printed if you do it just like the picture where he's got a bit of a blood spurter across his chest and the bat is just dripping with blood. Half covered. That's going to look really cool once painted. And his hairdo looks very, very cool as well. Big buff dude. Okay. Now we got Preston. I think Preston's rocking a bit of a crowbar there. He's tough. Tough ability is a good one too. Looking very cool. That's right, he's got like the overalls that are half pulled down. Something a little bit different. It's pretty cool. And we got Reno. Improvised weapon melee. Interested to see what that one does. But also holding a nice big gun. Awesome detail. Looking fantastic. Got a bunch of straps around his legs, which are a bit of extra detail. Look really cool too. That's Reno. We've got Shamsia. Rocking a hoodie, pointing a pistol forward. Looks really cool as well. Born Leader. From memory, the Born Leader ability, you can give somebody else or yourself like a extra action on their turn from memory, which is very, very handy. Love that hoodie. Looks very cool. And Yuka. And again, another cool hairstyle. Lots of detail. Rocking a couple swords. Starts with a katana. Also very handy. And I think that's everyone there. And that's a Chronicles Survivors box. Gonna hold everything nice and neat. Keep everyone all together. Ready for our battle. And I like that we have a bit of a snapshot of all the characters on the front box there as well. Now moving on onto the presidential box, where we have a few of the presidents. It's very cool. Let's crack it open and have a bit of a close look at who they all are. Okay, so we've got Obama, we've got Trump, we've got Bill Clinton, you've got Lincoln, a couple other ones I'm not 100% sure on. I think we've got Bush, one of those Bush I believe. Let's have a bit of a closer look. This is a bit of an interesting choice I thought from them. Presidential box. And the presidential box has an extra ability. So it's got a button on all of them that you can push to activate a special ability. So you push the big red button. And the big red button is on the other side of the card once you push it. So you flip the card over to show that it's been pushed. Read a bit more on that later. Get the cards out so we can pair them up together. Always fun trying to get all this plastic off. Alright. The minis ready to go. Alright, President 45, which is quite obviously Donald Trump. He starts with the Trump card. Very cool. But it looks just like him. Done a good job. Looking forward to read a bit more of that Trump card does. Who do we have next? So we've got President 44 next. And that's definitely Obama. Another field medic. Bit of a tactician. Get some extra range actions up in the orange abilities. What do we have next? President 42, that's Bill Clinton. Swinging a golf club. I really like that extra touch of the golf club bag on his back. Looks pretty cool too. Nice little touch. Sets him aside from the others. Very cool, Bill Clinton. Okay, next we've got 43. Okay, and 43 is definitely George Bush. Another cool little pose there. He's got a cigar in his mouth as well, looks kind of cool. He's got to find the right card here. That's your Abraham Lincoln. Rocking his top hat. Looking very cool. And President number 40, so that's Ronald Reagan. Don't know too much about him being an Aussie. But got a bit of a cowboy look. Looks very cool. But that's your presidents. Got to wrap that one up. And move on to the next box. Once again, just so many options in this. Have to do a bit of a final count, I think, of how many survivors there are in this whole set. Now moving on to the Danny Trejo box. Now Danny Trejo was actually in the ad on Kickstarter, on the trailer. He was the voiceover, and then the video sort of pans out to show Danny actually playing the game, which is really, really cool. So it only makes sense to have a Danny Trejo box. Now in this box you can see that he's a survivor, a walker, and an abomination, which is absolutely cool. So we're going to have a bit of a close look at how this all works. Get these cards open. Okay, there's your Trejo card. So if that card comes out, the Trejo Abomination, if he's on the board already, gets an extra activation. If the Walker is already on the board, he turns into the Trejo Abomination. So absolutely crazy. If neither of them are there, of course the Walker comes out, but that's pretty epic to see that the Walker comes out first and then just rages out and turns into Abomination. That's really, really exciting, and that's got to be a very cool mechanic in the box. And once Trejo comes out and starts walking around, you're going to want to take him out real quick, because the last thing you're going to want is that Abomination walking around the board causing havoc and wreaking trouble. Let's see, let's get a bit of a close look at these minis. Trying to get in there quickly. So excited to have a look. There's our Survivor card. He starts as Danny Trejo, which I think starts with a machete from memory. Gets to roll some extra dice as well, depending what level he's on. It rolls extra dice for actions performed with machetes, which is really, really cool and just so in theme. And the higher the danger level, the more dice he gets. So that's just epic. That's so cool. I wonder if you can actually have Trejo walking around as a hero and come up across a Trejo walker. It's got to be very interesting. Trejo versus Trejo. So here's our survivor. Now, as per most of Trejo's movies, like Con Air and all sorts of things, he's barely ever wearing a shirt. So of course, why put a shirt on his survivor character? Rocking all his muscles. That must have been in the contract, I reckon. If you're gonna make a mini of me, you better take my shirt off. And here's the walker. Take a guess, his shirt's also off. Looking a bit more rugged. Hair flinging around. Torn up clothes. Looks great. And here is the Trejo Abomination. Just a bunch of machetes sticking out of him. Just raging. Look at the face on him. Roar. Doesn't want to be messed with. That looks so cool. All ripped up shirt and so excited to get this guy to the table. I'm gonna hate for him to come out, but it's gonna be so much fun. He looks really good. Very, very well done. And to get the likeness of a real person onto the face of these little minis must be so hard, so absolutely hats off to Simon for getting that done. Let's pack him away, put Trejo to bed. Time for the next box. Okay, that's the Danny Trejo box. Next, we have the Urban Legend box. So this is pretty cool. We have your your sewer croc and an alien and the chupacabra and a big creepy clown which is holding some balloons, so I'm guessing that's Pennywise. This is definitely one of the boxes that caught my eyes in the Kickstarter. So exciting. Lots of different options in there. Just some freaky Urban Legends. Let's get into it. Get this box open. There they are. Have a bit of a look at the cards. Okay. So we start with the abductor, the alien. So he ignores dark zone and night rules for line of sight. At the end of its activation, remove from the board one survivor. It has LOS to place to choose. So, okay, a line of sight. So you actually remove and abduct one of the survivors. Now that's pretty hilarious. At the end of its next activation, return the survivor to the same zone. Another survivor is then abducted. It can be the same one. So this guy just goes around abducting our survivors, taking them off the board for a round. That's pretty funny and pretty in theme. So next we have a Chupacabra. The Chupacabra cannot be eliminated as long as it's in a dark zone. That's a bit interesting, so you want to probably draw him out of those areas to take him down. Killer Clown. Survivors cannot use the last skill they earned through adrenaline. Does not apply to blue level skills. So if you just earned that new kick-ass move, can't use it on him. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Pretty cool. And the Sewer Crocodile. Give this card to a survivor at random. The Sewer Crocodile considers the designated survivor zone as its target zone, ignoring all other survivors. The Sewer Crocodile has 2 actions. So not only is he targeting you, he's going to have 2 actions to move and attack every time he has a turn. So I don't know how people are going to be choosing who he's targeting. That's probably going to cause a few fights and lose a few friendships, but all in the name of fun, I'm sure. Okay, let's get into this box. These minis look very cool. Okay. Alright. So this is the abductor, our alien friend. Looking very just muscular and odd. That looks pretty cool. Looks almost as ripped as Danny Trejo. If you've ever wanted to see an alien butt, there's one for you. Their skin's sort of all bubbly and... Nah, we've got the Chupacabra. He's got lots of like little spines coming off him. Also very muscular. Looks like a giant angry rat dog. But very cool. Looking good. Okay. Next we have our Pennywise lookalike, the Killer Clown. This is another one I'm very interested to see some of the paint jobs on this one, because we're dealing with a clown. You're going to be looking at some interesting color choices, and he just looks epic. Yeah. All our fans of the It movies are going to love this guy here. He'll be haunting you in your dreams, I'm sure. Maybe change his balloon just to some red balloons for theme. And this is the Killer Croc. Nice big thick scales. Just a bunch of junk stuck to the back of him. Some pipes and grills and who knows what. And I like that it's sort of standing on top of like a letter post. A letterbox of some sort. Or a chimney. Not too sure what that is. But it looks quite cool. Very interesting. With some good detail on them there. But yes, that's our 4 abominations from the Urban Legends box. it's really good that we have a bunch of different abominations to choose from, so we can make like a abomination spawning deck. Creates a bit more excitement to make sure that every time you're going to be spawning an interesting abomination. So that'll wind us up, guys. Thank you so much for watching my unboxing if you made it all the way through. Sorry for the technical difficulty causing a bit of a voice change and the quality difference. But I'm Mike from the Board Game BBQ. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, join our Discord where we talk about all sorts of games and organise online plays. We're organising a bunch of events around Australia where we're doing meetups and playing games, so listen to the podcast and we hope to see you soon.